Hello and welcome to the start of a public vlog. Remember those? Remember when this channel was active? Well, guess what? You don't have to remember. It's back, baby. It's back. Ooh, look at them eyes. Yes, so, this week I shall be reading... What the hell? I just turned that off. How did that come turn on? Claude is turning things back on with his brain. He's an evil kitty with the brain powers. Brain powers. Anyways, so today I am going to start by reading some novelization and tie-in books to do an official thing for the event. So, first things first, what I'm going to begin with is this comic book that is this modern Universal Monsters Dracula comic, and it's supposed to be pretty good. It just came out this year, so I'm interested. It's kind of like a retelling of Dracula, specifically the Universal Monsters version. So interested to see how that is, and if that is very universal, or if it's just a version of Dracula that someone put Universal on. And then I am also listening to a Warhammer audiobook right now, The Rose at War, which is all about the Adepti Sororitas, which is the nuns with guns, essentially. And I've listened to a few short stories from that collection so far, but next up is a novella, so I'll probably be listening to one of those novellas today as well. I have to do some things like dishes and all of that nonsense. And then I'm also hoping to get back to, I started this last night. This is On the Soldiers of Giants and Other Stories. This looks huge. I'm only focusing on reading the novella today, which is about 100 pages. That's by Adrian Tchaikovsky. And I started it last night, and I was really liking it. It's basically like this guy who is disabled. He doesn't have his legs. So how he continues to fight on the battlefield is that he basically rides a giant ogre into battle, and she and him have like this really interesting relationship where they kind of like work together, and they, you know, both have different ways of viewing the world and working together, and it's very, very interesting. So, you know, he's the sniper on the tower, but the tower is a living thing, so it's just very cool. So really enjoying that so far. Only got a little bit into that though, so hoping to get a little bit more into that today as well. So wow. And then what's next? I don't know. We'll see. Talk to you guys later. Little girl, little Wisteria, how are you? So the day has gone a little bit topsy-turvy, a tiny bit. So I found out that, well, it's happened a few times, but I've never seen it happen. But Nami's been peeing in the bed. And it seems to be because she's being, like, ambushed by the other cats whenever she tries to go to the washroom on her own. Because, like, if I'm there, she'll go with me to the washroom. But I think it's because, like, she doesn't feel safe because both Loomis and Claude have, like, jumped out at her. And she's, like, very concerned. Like, I don't think she wanted to do it. So it was just, like, she felt like she had to. But hopefully it's just that and nothing else. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. But for the meantime, I don't like it. But I actually hate it. But whatever. I have brought, because it's for her, I brought in one of the litter boxes to be just kind of by my bed in here. And this is her safe room. So hopefully that just solves the issue and she just goes in that one and I clean that one out. And that's basically her litter box kind of thing. She's already been kind of looking at it. So hopefully that is the case. I will update you. I really hope I don't have to take her to the vet. But if I do, I will. It's for the little girl. But yes, that has been going on, like, not constantly, but, like, the last few weeks it's been happening maybe, like, once every 4 days kind of thing, and it's, you know, it's a lot of money to keep washing all of my bedding, so hopefully we've solved it. But now I did also finish Dracula, the Universal Dracula, so this is really interesting. I will say that the main thing about this book that I love more than anything else is this amazing artwork. Like, the artwork in this book, absolutely stunning. So good. so well done. The art is just perfect. Like if this book had like no words in it and it was just the artwork, it would be pretty amazing and triumphant. Now, I will say that the dialogue and the story it's telling is kind of interesting because it takes out a lot of the things that I love about Dracula, but then tells the story in a very unique way. Do I think this feels like Universal Dracula? I guess. Like, I guess so. It's certainly more universal than it is, you know, Bram Stoker's, because there is quite a bit of things missing from this. And it's a lot of my favorite things that are kind of missing from this. Like, so for example, this starts with, Renfield being the one who went to go see Dracula and then was on the boat, and Dracula came back on the boat to Carfax Abbey. So, Jonathan Harker never goes to the Castle Dracula. You don't see any of the Castle Dracula scenes, and it's basically like once the ship arrives, he's put into custody because they think he did it, and that's how he ends up in the asylum. And you get none of that very, very awesome opening scenes in the castle, which I think is some of the best parts of Dracula. So it's really interesting that they removed that. There is no love triangle in this. Like, you get Lucy Renestra in this, but she's Lucy Weston, which I don't. I'd have to look to see if that had any, connotations with how the names were in the 1931 Dracula film, and see if that might be like kind of like an artifact of the play. But there's no Quincy Morris in this, like, at all. Like, I think maybe there's like one reference of a Quincy, but you never see Quincy Morris, who is one of my favorite Dracula characters, because he's basically like, what if they just randomly threw a cowboy into a gothic horror story? And that's Quincy Morris. Also in this, you get, like, Dr. Seward is an older man and is like the father of Mina. So, like, again, you don't have him also interested in Lucy. You also don't get the tete-a-tete of Dracula and Van Helsing, which I think, especially in that original 1931 Dracula movie, and Universal Dracula and all forms of Dracula, is one of the best parts about the story, is the back and forth between the hunter and the hunted, and when does the tables churn between those two. And Dracula actually says 2 words in this entire book, but other than that, he says nothing. And the only words he says near the end of the book is Van Helsing. And as far as I can tell, like, as far as I remember, as far as I see, like, that's the only word he speaks. So you don't even get that more erudite Dracula that you normally get in these stories. In fact, it seems to be much more focused on Renfield and what it means to, be who Renfield is. What is the deal with Renfield? Why is Renfield the way he is? What is it that he's trying to achieve? And how did he become this way? And, there's awesome artwork. I love the artwork for Renfield, like having these like weird glowing face. But I find that really, I always did find Renfield probably one of the best characters in the original Dracula. So I think this version of the story is ripe for the telling. It is quite good. Like, I do really like that element. But because of its structure, it almost feels like there's a story missing, because the final issue, he has this discussion with Van Helsing, and they're literally talking about the scene that I love most in Dracula, which is the duel in the manor where, they have Dracula over for dinner and Van Helsing's there, and then they have their tete-a-tete. But you never see this in the comic. They randomly mention the fact that you saw the mirror and then you saw him run away. But you don't see that in the comic, and it's very strange for that to not be in the comic. And this is a 4-issue series, so it almost feels like there may be, like, maybe there was an issue missing, or maybe that was probably more likely just a choice by the writer, in which I find it a little odd that you wouldn't just, maybe you don't have to like go through that scene in its entirety, but you could have just spent a page like kind of breaking down what happened on that night. So I don't know why you would cut that out and only have that revealed in dialogue, especially when you have such vibrant artwork that tells stories without very little dialogue. So like I don't know why you wouldn't have that extra added element of the story. It's not, is it extremely important? No, but I've also like read Dracula a billion times. So like I don't know if its absence from this story is something that would hinder the normal person who doesn't know that much about Dracula. Or because I know so much about Dracula, I don't need the scene, but others who this is their first exposure or one of their early exposures to the character and to the story would need that scene to kind of understand how everything goes. I kind of lean for I think it probably should have been in there, but regardless, the freaking artwork though, top notch, amazing stuff. So I think this is a really interesting experiment. They're doing a number of these Image comics. There's one for Creature of the Black Lagoon that just came out, 4 issues of that. And then there is one currently being released for Frankenstein, also under the Universal Monsters line. So we will see. I'd be interested to explore more of them in the future. This one had gorgeous artwork. And I don't know if I completely love it, though. I think there is some stuff missing from it. So, a very good story, but not the perfect adaptation of Dracula. Not that there ever will be one, but always interested to see another Universal take on the character. What do you think, Loomis? I have no thoughts. I'm a cat. So I am going to go for a little bit of a walk, and I will... Oh, he's making fists. He's like, what you say about me? What you say about my lack of thoughts? I'll beat you up, bro. All right, Loomis, calm down. I'm going to go for a walk and listen to a little bit more of The Rose at War, which is a Warhammer comic that is, well, not a comic, a Warhammer short story and novella collection that is dealing with the Adeptus Sororitas, which is the nuns with guns. And this is actually written by a female author, which I think just lends it to be a very entertaining and cool nunsploitation story. So having a good time with it. I will continue with that while I go for a walk and just do a little bit of stuff. And then I'll come home and do something that I'll update you with. So Blair, talk to you later. Hello. Look at him. He's so cute. And he's gone. Oh no. Oh, Tub. It's like 6:30 a.m. Because of my bad sleeping habits, this is when he decides to do this now. Both of them. They team up. The boys just meow until I feed them. Isn't that right? What? Alright, I'll give you your food. Ah, yes. Everyone else has been sated, but the unending stomach of Claude is like, yo, feed me forever. No, don't eat their food. Hey, you little turd. Eat your own food. You still have plenty in here. Meet Johnny, little Johnny boy. Hello, little Johnny boy. He is my latest little foster. He just got fixed, so he is currently recovering from being fixed. Obviously, it didn't take too much out of him. He seems like he's raring to go. He's just a little sweet boy. He's going to be here for probably a week or two while he recovers from his surgery. And then he's going off to get adopted. So he's only going to be a temporary guest, but he's a real sweet boy. Ain't you? Ain't you, Johnny? He's a good boy. So it's Monday, and very, very little reading has been done. I listened to a little bit of an audiobook, but as you can see, it is raining. And if you don't know, After the stroke, whenever it rains, my brain just becomes complete mush for the entire day. So yeah, I didn't really get anything done as far as reading does done. And tomorrow, this is all supposed to freeze over and become snow, which will be an absolute nightmare if that happens. Because look at all this wetness. If all that wetness freezes over, becomes an ice, and then you layer snow on top of it, holy, we'll see. But yeah, so my brain is going kind of mushy. I'm gonna try and do a little bit of reading, but like I probably won't get much done because my brain, my brain is being mush. My brain is being mush, 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 mushy, mushy, mush. Anyways, probably update you tomorrow. Johnny's doing well though. I'll probably show more of him, of course. Oh man, and it's still snowing and blowing. This is the next day. Wow. Well, that's fun. First big snowfall of the year, I guess. Ugh, Gleg. I don't want to ever leave the house again. See you guys all in like a year. Okay, so yeah, it's been a day of, you know, a lot of snow. It is actually night. It's like 8 p.m. ish, 8, 9 ish p.m., and it's still snowing a little bit. I did go out in this earlier today, and that was a mistake. I just went out to the thrift store and I was like, wow, I am dying. I am dying. And now, of course, the most annoying part of any snowstorm is when it's like late at night and they have to clear all of the parking lots and they have the beep, 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 beep as they back up. So that's fun. Can't wait for that. But I did finish some reading today. I did finish the first novella, On the Soldiers of Giants by Adrian Tchaikovsky. And that was so good. That was so good. Basically everything I said before, but like there's these amazing action sequences to go with the amazing character beats. And yeah, no, I just thought this was a fantastic novella. 5-star novella. I don't know what the rest of the book will be like. I'm not going to read that right away, but I might dive into that a little bit as I go through some of the books. So I did also finish the audiobook for The Rose at War. And while I was listening to that, which is like a short story and novella collection, all about this very specific battalion of the Sisters of Battle in Warhammer 40,000. And yeah, no, I quite enjoyed that one. I will say the second to last novella I didn't love as much because I just think the author, she's much better at writing like very like refined small cast horror stories, which was like what most of the other ones were, except for like a very funny orc story. So she could do comedy as well, good as well. It was just this was like a very big freaking battle sequence in a lot of the elements, and like it was kind of easy to get kind of lost. And I just think that maybe her skills as a writer is more to the elements of the smaller scale. But I did still really like that book, and I'm excited to read the newest book that came out by that author, which was a full novel featuring all these characters that came out earlier this year. So excited to do that. And while I did that, I did work a little bit on some miniatures. So I was painting this guy up. He's not perfect. It's not a perfect. I'm still only like this is only like really kind of like the first kind of layer. I think the black always looks pretty good. I have like a pretty intense black, as you can see, so I have to be like really careful with it. It doesn't get like too globbed on. The orange never really shows up like I want it to so far. I need to like at least put another coat of the orange stuff on there. The lead actually looks really, really cool, like with the chains and stuff like that. Anyway, so that's just the first little blob of that stuff there. And then after that, I did prime a whole bunch of others to work on. So now I have finished the audiobook. I don't know what audiobook I'm going to listen to tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling, how everything's gearing, how everything is going. Let me say hello to little Johnny boy. Little Johnny boy. He's so cute, and I love him. Love you, little Johnny boy. I'll leave you be for now. But yeah, no, I don't know what I'm going to read next, so let's go to my place. My reading cart. Yeah, so we're getting near the end of freaking November, and I did not get most of the books done that I wanted to. So I'm trying to figure out where I will go next. Maybe I kind of want to listen to some Snowy. Because it's very snowy outside. What do I want to do? You know what? Let's go. Let's do this, which is a tie-in to the Star Wars video game. I don't know how this will be, but and I don't know what kind of weather this is. Who knows? But this is by Karen Travis, and I really liked her books on Halo that she did, so I'm kind of interested to read this, and I did enjoy this video game. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna start this. Tonight. Probably not gonna get too far in, so I'll update you tomorrow as we go through it. Bye bye. Good morning is what I would say if it was good, but it is morning, so can't fight that reality. I was really feeling it after like 9 p.m. last night, and I just like passed out. But then I woke up at like 5 a.m. and Claude was instantly like, "Come on, feed me." But I just wanted to go back to bed, so I kicked him out. He meowed, and I was like, "Stop it!" I had to like open the door and be like, "Stop it! Stop doing that!" And he didn't stop. And then he kept like every time I needed to go to the washroom or something, he kept like sneaking back in. And I had to like shoo him out. But then I was like, oh my god, did I like push back on him a little bit too hard to turn him around and stop him from coming in? And the answer is no. He was completely fine. He's not acting any differently, and he just sat down and kept meowing. So it's like clearly I'm just being anxious for anxiety's sake. And then I couldn't get back to sleep because I was so anxious. Anyways, the kitten's doing well. And Claude is also doing fine. See, he's getting food. He's eating food. He's fine. He don't give a shit. If you were to ask him about last night, he'd just be like, yeah, I made a lot of noise, then he let me in. It's fine. So I have the kitten's door open so the kitten can just hang out. Kitten has a good safe spot to look around, enjoy life, and investigate the world. And he comes out a little bit, then he goes back in, and he comes back out, and he's like, so I just have the door open, so he's got his own little safe space. Yeah, and it's like full winter outside. Like, it was like howling and blowing all of yesterday, and I was really feeling it. My body was just like, well, we're miserable, and everything sucks, and now you're sore. And that's probably why when I woke up at like freaking 5 a.m. I wanted to go back to sleep, I was so grumpy. I was like, stop yelling at me. I want to go back to sleep. But then, of course, you know, when I opened the door and just fed him, he ate. And then I just went back to sleep for an hour. So really, cat lesson. You just deal with it. You're never gonna win. You're never gonna win with cats. So you just deal with it and just give him his food, and then he'll shut up, and you can go back to sleep. Obviously, like not overfeeding or anything like that. Obviously, if you have to like put him on a diet, you gotta stick to that. But you know, this one is like he's only slightly on a diet. And that's how he's being, because he's like so food anxious. But I'm surviving. I'm living. I'm not laughing, and I'm not loving. Yeah, I did start Star Wars Hard Contact last night, but I was like, I I'm not feeling it right now, and it's now basically winter, so I'm just doing this. I'm going Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I'm just starting my Christmas reading. Luckily, I have enough snowy novelizations to pad out the rest of the month, but I am so far just beyond anything that's not holiday-ish now. I'm full on seasonal reading, so that is how it goes. And now I'm just gonna sit down and read. How's it going, Claude? He's like, I'm fine. I'm fine, bro. He don't give a shit. Anyways, talk to you later. Excuse me, sir. May I please have the book that I was reading? Sir, you seem to be hanging out on a book I was reading. He's like, yeah. Well, if you showed up for dinner a little bit earlier, maybe it would have been fine to get this novelization. Now it's mine, bitch. What do you think, Johnny? Little Johnny boy, little Johnny boy. And then there's Nami, who I don't think likes Johnny, but they don't seem to be too opposed. It's that early stage where everyone does a little hiss, and then they eventually just get used to him. No fights or anything like that. He's just a little kitten. It's very funny, though. So far, Wisteria has been the one who's like, get away from me! I'm the tuxedo in this house. Yeah, there's only one tuxedo allowed in this house, and it's me, she says. You're alive, right? Okay, she's alive. I was worried. I don't think I've just seen her in there. Anyways. I know a way to get my book back. I'll give you treats. Mm-hmm. Let's get everyone treats. And not even that. They're literally to exploitation. Literally, there should be a king. Bram, 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 bram. Makes it sound like I'm saying Bram. Bram Stoker, or Bram who wrote Krampus, or Bram the Gwomber Man. That was the sound he was making all day yesterday. All day. 5 a.m. he just meow. That's the sound he makes. Anyways. There you go. Yep. Here you go, Loomis. Number. You're a queen, here you go. Now I gotta get some. What the hell? What the hell? Alright, fine. Where's Johnny? Here, I'm gonna put that down there for you. Maybe Johnny will come and eat it. Anyways, now I get back to reading this book, which is. I'm about 40 pages in, and it is quite obscene. In some ways where I'm like, what? What that book does to the grandpa is in my mind so crazily unhinged, where I was kind of laughing, but it's so sleazy, it's so bad, it's so naughty and bad. I was like, oh god. Oh, there's little Johnny. He's hiding in the toilet. Anyways, that book is something else so far. And it made me go like, oh man, that makes me want to read some of his other novelizations. And I saw that the Black Christmas one is on pre-order right now. And it's like $40 US, $45 US, which I would be willing-ish to pay. But then I looked at, But then I looked at how much the shipping would be, and the shipping is $30 US. And I was like, oh my lord, I cannot afford that. That's $70 US. You know how much that is in Canadian money? It's basically a house. You can buy a house. And it's effed up. Because again, what I have, my problem with Stack the Killer is this. They're making novelizations out of Canucksploitation movies. Sorry, Claude. He's like, why are you doing that? 1, they did one for Happy Birthday to Me. Sorry, that was not one, but they did one for that. That's like an exploitation movie, as in filmed in Canada, but it cost $1 billion to get the novelization in Canada. How dare you? Two, the very first one they made was the novelization for My Bloody Valentine, which was, of course, a very famous Nova Scotia film. They're drinking Moosehead in that. They're drinking Moosehead. If that novelization doesn't mention Moosehead 20,000 times, it's a bad novelization because everyone in that movie is drinking Moosehead. And you know Moosehead? That's a Canadian beer because that's a Canadian movie. And the novelization is only available in hardcover in the States affordably. And you're like, why is this? Why is this? This is against Canada. And now Black Christmas. And you're like, ugh. Why are you doing this? Well, Black Christmas, I guess, is kind of debatable in exploitation because, like, a lot of it was filmed in Canada, but it was, I don't think any of the crew or cast was very Canadian, but regardless. No, wait, Margaret Kiddo, no, the cat definitely was Canadian, but the director wasn't. Anyways, but yes. All of these famous horror movies that were filmed and made in Canada are, like, impossible to afford in Canada. It's like, I don't mind spending like $45 on a book, like a hardcover book. But when your only shipping option is like literally the entire cost of the book, I'm like, well, I can't do that. I ain't got that money. I ain't got fucking dancing rich people money. It's an exploitation. It should be free to Canadians. We gave you My Bloody Valentine. We gave you Black Christmas, and this is how you repay us. This is how you repay us. Anyways, it's not that big of a deal. It's literally novelizations for stupid, silly movies, but I have opinions. And I also have a cat. Meow, 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 meow. Watching the true artistic masterpiece that is Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. Yes, I know. I'm currently reading the novelization for the first one, and half of this movie is the first movie, so recapped. Anyways. Can't wait. I love this movie. It's so bad, but it's also amazing. One of the all-time greatest horror movie kills is about to happen. This guy's acting is like truly. Look at his face. Look at his face. He picks up an umbrella that's just randomly there, and then he goes. Look at his face. This is the greatest moment in cinema history. Nutty. And the most famous scene in cinema history is about to occur. Yes, Queen. Yes. Garbage day. Control. Woo!
The things are going to be selling online. I think I use like it's estatesales.net or something to find estate sales. But they'll usually like pictures of.
So it is Friday night. It's only 2 days left of the vlog. And I did finally finish another book. Wow, I know. This book is deceiving because of the size. Like, because it's got like the oversized kind of style of hardcover that kind of makes it a little bit deceiving, so you think it won't take as long. This book is vile. This book is pretty disgusting and vile. But I'm sorry to tell everyone, but I liked it quite a bit. This is a book that 100% pushes some boundaries. Like, because it's like a novelization of a film that is doing a lot to make a more thoughtful slasher film in terms of trying to evaluate what would actually be, what kind of a character would lead someone to do one of these like mass killings, like what would make a person into a slasher. And it fills in the gaps that normally films kind of leave out, like, the gap between like Jason as a baby who gets drowned and Jason as an adult, or like what happens with Michael Myers when he's in this like the facility, and how does he become blah 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 blah. And like Silent Night Deadly Night is actually, I think, is one of the things that is most influential to writing slasher books in general. Like anything that's a slasher in a literary format kind of takes a little bit out of Silent Night Deadly Night. And even to the point where Grady Hendrix's Final Girl support group, the main character of that book is Linnea Quigley's character, who is in this movie. Like it's not like one to one, but it's very obviously her based off of her character. And she is only a very brief kill in this movie, but it's like a very important thing to that sticks with people because it's a wild sequence. But yeah, and I think that the way that the story is told in that original film is very influential to how future slasher books would investigate the genre. And I will say that this is a very good example of that. Like, this is pushing a lot of boundaries in the fact that like, there's some gnarly sex stuff in this. And it's like, it kind of swears to Richard Lamany. Like, and when I say gnarly, I don't mean there is a lot of near sexual assaults like in the film, but this one does not go any. It goes a bit farther, but it goes farther in a little bit more tasteful way, because like I think this is like a more extreme horror novel, but it is written with a point. So a lot of the more sleazy characters are kind of rooted in a sense of reality, in that not everyone is like them, and they are kind of treated as outliers, as being like very bad, terrible, creepy dudes. So like it's not as like a Richard Lehman book where everybody is like that. It's like there's certain elements that are taken that feel a little bit Richard Lemony, but like also is kind of grounded a bit more in reality, I would say. And this is actually a book that's kind of focused a little bit more on character than you would expect. And also, it does try to tackle some big themes. Now, some of those themes, like, because it kind of tries to balance the I'm taking this seriously, but also this is a camp novel. And, like, I don't know if that balance will work for everyone. And it certainly didn't always work for me. Like, there are some weird parts of this book where I'm like, I get what you're going for, but then you're also trying to tell a quote unquote fun slasher story. So it's weird that you would incorporate this level of reality into his psychology when you are also trying to just kind of present something as like a fun slasher book. So it's interesting because it really does straddle that line where like certain elements are actually taken pretty seriously, but other elements are taken very campy. So it's just go in aware. Yeah, this book definitely pushes boundaries and is a pretty vile book in a lot of segments and elements, but I actually ended up quite enjoying it. I quite enjoyed it. It kind of reminded me of like what an old school extreme horror novel was, where like they were written with a very specific goal and point in mind for the story that they were telling, and the wild extra steps that they go to involve yourself in the depravity of an individual, was rooted in telling a story, versus where I find a lot of a modern day extreme horror novel, they're using those elements not to tell a story but to shock you and to not really dive any more into anything substantial. Whereas I was surprised, but I thought this book did kind of try to tackle some bigger subjects. Does it succeed? I mean, I guess it's up to you. I think that it tries to walk a very difficult tightrope, and I think it mostly succeeds. This is the only one of these that is widely available. There's a new paperback edition that is being sold at Shout Factory, but this also has an ebook, which is cool. I like that. I really hope his other books get ebooks. Like there is one from My Bloody Valentine and Happy Birthday to Me that he wrote 2 novelizations for them. And like those are 2 of my absolute favorite horror movies ever. Like I love those movies so much. So like I'm really sad now that I've read this and it was good that I don't have those 2. And he's currently the Black Christmas one is on pre-order, and I think I gotta buy that one. I think I gotta buy that one because I don't want to miss out. Because Black Christmas is probably my favorite slasher movie. I would say Black Christmas might be my favorite slasher movie. It's it's hard to say. There's like a lot of them that I really like. But anyways, this was really good and a surprise. So now I don't know if I'm gonna finish any more books this this vlog because I'm going to be starting this book, which is an Arkham Horror book that I have as an arc, and it's supposed to snow like all day and it's supposed to be like a pretty heavy snow. So like I don't know how much I'll be feeling actually reading. So we will see. But yeah, I'm gonna start this tonight. And again, you know me, I'm infamous for starting books at night and then going to something else. But I do have an arc for this, and I do want to get to it in a timely manner. So, wish me luck. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
Or anything, but the time period in which this story takes place is 2016. Correct.
Kitten being cute, whilst Loomis looks on in annoyance because his spot has been stolen.
And more about the director's obsession with like making a horror movie.
Loomis. So it's Saturday morning, and of course there is a very, very loud mini snowplow going. Those things have like no hours, and it's always drives me fucking up the wall during winter because like this is going at 9:30 a.m., which is not that bad, really. I mean, I want to read, and it's very annoying that it goes beep, 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 beep. But what happens is they'll run at night normally. So normally at night they'll go and they'll clean out the ones that are like owned by a company. Like, so some company owns this freaking parking lot and they'll have someone come out, and they always have them come out at like 9 p.m. And it can then be anywhere from 9 p.m. to like 2 a.m. as to how long or how frequent or how wherever they'll be working. Like last night, well, not last night, but 2 nights ago, I got woken up by the beeping at like 2 a.m. and it was like a big one. It was like a big one, like clearing out like cars around here. And I was like, why is it going at 2 a.m.? Because like the beeping was just beep, 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 beep. And I know they have to do that because they obviously don't want to hit anybody, and it's like allowed by the law, but it's just annoying. And this is just, first world problems because some people, don't have a warm place. So it's like, it's not a big deal, but it's just always a minor annoyance for the winter. Especially right now when I finished all my YouTube watching and I want to read the book, but I can't read the book because they're beeping. Drives Daddy insane. Drives Daddy into a fucking rage. Not really, but it's not a big deal. Loomis don't care. And he's got to be almost done by now. He's been going at it for like an hour. So, on to some books. No, maybe not. Maybe on to something else and then some books. I don't fucking know. Podcasting about the movie Alien and Aliens later today. So I'm rewatching Alien in 4K. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. It's beautiful. Look at how pretty it is. It's beginning to look a lot like fuck this. It is really snowing out there. And it never really appears on the freaking camera super well. Even like in a blizzard or a snowstorm. Because like it's a hardcore snowstorm. And it looks a lot clearer on the image. But if you look here, like it's a lot of snow's coming down. It's a coming, it's a snowing, it's a blowing. We're all going to be very cold. and very wet. And, I guess I should have went and got my wine before this, but now I'm not gonna have wine, so that's fine. I guess. It's not like I can really afford it. I'm very, very broke, so don't worry about it. Kitty likes video games. And it's still snowing in the morning. Shout out to my neighbors who partied till literally 5 a.m. last night. And by shout out, I mean fuck you. And now, of course, the beep beep beeps of all of the mini snowplows are going. Oh, forsooth, my brain shall not enjoy today. Nami's doing better, though. I realized I never updated on Nami. She is doing much better now. I switched her foods, so I think that might have been what it was. And I think she had just a kitty cold, and that's why she was being a bit off. But she's good now, so that's good. Where an artistic shot of Loomis looking at the snow. Wait, dude, come on, man. Come on, Dan. For the gram. I mean, for the tube? I don't know. Loomis, you were just looking out. Come on, dude. It was for the shot. Come on. This could have won me the Webby. Come on, look out the window. No, turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Fuck. Whatever, it's still fucking snowing. Oh. Oh. Whatever. Sir, I need to take a shower to start my day. Can I have my shirt? You son of a bitch. Why, you so cute, you little bastard. Oh, first you don't pose for my freaking photo. Now you're doing this. Fine. I'll get it after I shower. Little turd. Dude, like I just showered. You're still on there? Fine. I was hoping when I was taking a shower you would be like, oh. But no, I guess I'll just wear something else. You win, Loomis. Oh no, but now Claude's in there. Gosh darn it. Claude, you can't hang out in there. That's where all my cables and stuff is. Oh, god damn it. I should have put the fucking thing down. What, you guys want me to fucking go shirtless today? Jesus Christ. Oh, so now that I put my shirt on, that's when you get off the shirt? You happy with yourself? Is this how you enjoy living life? With your petty torments? Are you sorry for what you did? I didn't think so. Dude, I just sat down to read. What do you want? Do you want me to turn the TV on? Look at this kid. He ain't said a word. He's silent. He's silent and cute. Look at this. Little Johnny. You cause more problems than a kitten. I hear ya. To be fair, I know that you probably just take after me. This is my own problems. They get so excited for freaking cat TV. Oh shit! What the hell is this? Let's change it up a little bit. All right, there you go. Enjoy, you turd. This book is really good, but I'll probably finish it tomorrow. So it's no longer applicable for this vlog. I'll talk about it in next vlog. Hope you guys have a good day. Goodbye.